Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
The top floor of the Glore Psychiatric Museum feels different the moment you arrive, as if the building has quieted as you climbed. There is less institutional intensity here and more space for reflection. The ceilings feel slightly closer and the atmosphere becomes more intimate. This level often houses rotating exhibits and archival displays, giving context to everything shown below. It is where documentation deepens the narrative, and where the broader history of mental health care expands beyond Missouri. The focus shifts from devices and daily routines to ideas, research, and preservation. A library sits on this floor, although it's sometimes closed to visitors. Even behind a locked door, it represents something important. Shelves of medical texts and historical records speak to the evolution of psychiatric thought. These books once formed treatment plans, administrative decisions, and professional debates. They reflect how theory shaped practice, and how confidence in knowledge guided institutions. Libraries and hospitals were never decorative spaces. They were tools of authority and learning. Doctors consulted volumes on diagnoses and emerging therapies, while administrators referenced policy and regulation. The written word carried weight within institutional walls. On this floor, that intellectual framework becomes visible. Archival materials displayed nearby often included letters, reports, and official correspondence. These documents reveal how decisions were justified at the time. They show how language framed illness, behavior, and recovery. Reading those records today can feel sobering. What once seemed progressive can now feel limited or misguided. This level also highlights preservation itself. Curators have gathered artifacts, documents, and testimony to ensure that the institution's stories remain accessible. Without that effort, much of this history would have faded. The top floor therefore becomes a space of stewardship. There is a quiet energy here compared to the lower levels. Instead of confronting treatment devices, visitors encounter interpretation and analysis. The emphasis is on understanding rather than reaction. It allows time to absorb what has already been seen. Standing on the highest accessible floor carries its own symbolism. You're physically above the former wards and treatment rooms. The perspective shifts from immersion to overview. It feels like stepping back to evaluating the full arc of the institutional history. The top floor does not overwhelm with spectacle. Instead, it closes the experience with context. It connects individual stories to broader systems. It invites reflection on how mental health care has evolved and how it continues to change. Now, let's go back downstairs.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.